Hello class, this is a video tutorial on the area between functions and the x-axis. The definite integral finds signed areas between functions and the x-axis within a domain, not taking into account whether the function is above or below the x-axis. To properly calculate the area between functions and the x-axis, we must separate integral domains by the x-intercepts of the function and carefully add or subtract the signed areas. Also compare the wording of the questions. So here we go. We're going to compare, in part B of this question, you can see we have definite integrals, whereas part C is what we will be focusing on in this skill. Part A is first, we need to find the x-intercepts and sketch the function. I've already drawn it out here. But for this, instead, I just need to know what these x-intercepts are. So in this case, we can easily factorize this. I can think of this as x minus 3 and x minus 7. So the x-intercepts are at x equals 3 and x equals 7. So our x-intercept here is 3 and 7. If we were to now evaluate this integral, it's going to be the integral of, from 0 to 3, x squared minus 10x plus 21 dx. Integrating this, we get 1/3 x cubed minus x squared, 10 divided by 2 is 5, plus 21x from 0 to 3. Chucking this into our calculator. Substituting 3 first, so 1/3, 3 cubed minus 5 times 3 squared plus 21 times 3, we get 27. And not even going to substitute it in my calculator, because when we substitute 0 into x for each of these, we will get 0. This gives us 27. Okay, for this one, I'm not going to rewrite the integral again, so this step here, I just now know it's going to be 1/3 x cubed minus 5x squared plus 21x. This time the boundaries or the domain is from 3 to 7. Substituting this in, we have the value when we substitute 3, so we know it's going to be minus 27. Let's now substitute 7 into here. So 7, and 7. This gives us 49 on 3 minus 27, which we can evaluate. 49 on 3 minus 27, we get negative 32 on 3, which, looking at our graph, from 0 to 3, that makes sense why it's positive, because we have this above the x-axis. From 3 till 7, we can see that this is all below the x-axis, hence why we get this negative. And lastly, we're going to go from 5 till 10. Once again, realize I can use my iPad's feature to just copy paste this. So we know it's going to be integrating, but this time from 5 till 10. And this time around, again, substituting 10. Let's go back here. Substituting 10 first. 10, 10, and 10. Okay, so from here we get 130 on 3 and substituting 5, oops, and 5, we get minus 65 on 3. Okay, so 130 on 3 minus 65 on 3, we get, well, 65 on 3. But this is a combination of negative values here and some positive values here. So this is what we're familiar with. This is just definite integrals. But now take a close look. It's asking of us to calculate the area between the function and the x-axis. Because of that, we have to take into account whether the function is above or below the x-axis, because areas cannot be negative. So clarifying again, definite integrals can be negative, but if it asks for the area, it must be a positive answer. So to do this, now you can see that it's actually the exact same domains. So 3 to 7, 3 to 7, 5 till 10, 5 till 10. But how we go about doing this is actually, well, a little bit more different. For this one, you can see that from 0 to 3 is all positive. So this can become the definite integral. So this just goes from 0 to 3 of f of x dx, which we've already done, dot, 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 dot. This comes out as 27 units squared. Now before, it's not as important, but now it's very much important that we're showing that it is an area. So it is in units squared. Now for this one, take a close look. From 3 till 7, the entirety of the graph is below that domain. So 3 till 7. So because it is below the x-axis, this is equivalent to negative of 3 till 7 of f of x dx, which we can do all of that again. However, since we already know that the definite integral from 3 to 7 is negative 32 on 3, this negative now becomes negative 32 on 3, which will give us positive 32 on 3. And this is in units squared. Now as for this one, notice how it's going from 5 till 10, and this is crossing through an x-intercept. Well, because of this, we actually have to break this up. So this will become the definite integral of negative from 5 till 7. So notice how we're going from 5 till 7, and I made that a negative because we know the definite integral of this will give us a negative result. Multiplying that by another negative will make it positive. So negative of this dx plus from 7 until 10. Okay, so that's from 7 till 10 of f of x dx. We already know the integral of this. We have the integral here, so I'm just going to copy paste this. So here's the first part, and this is going to be from 5 till 7, and this needs to be made negative. And to this, we're going to add the same thing from 7 till 10. So let's break this up now. Let's do this one in orange. Doing this first part into our calculator. So substituting 7. Let's go back here. Well, I think we already have that substitution. Let's go back. There it is, 7. So this comes out to become negative 49 on 3 minus substituting 5, which we have here. Nope, we don't have a 5, so let's do that. Plus 5, plus 5, and 5. This gives us 65 on 3. So this is just the orange portion. And notice that the inside here will become negative because 49 minus 65 is a negative. But because we have that negative in the front, it will be made into a positive. This becomes equal. Let's now substitute the next part here. And the next part on this one, let's do this one in purple. It's going to be the 10. 10 we had here is going to become plus 130 on 3 minus, and the 7 was 49 on 3. And then evaluating all of this, we will get, so negative of 49 on 3 minus 65 on 3. The first portion is already 16 on 3 plus 130 on 3 minus 49 on 3. This gives us plus 27. And to this, we'll just add the fraction. Plus 16 on 3. All in all, we get a total of 97 on 3 units squared. So I hope that's given you an insight into the into how to calculate the area of functions between functions and the x-axis, and the comparison between definite integrals to that of areas of functions between the function and the x-axis. So hope to see you in the next video, and best of luck.